सभासदों, माननीय सभापति जी,
सम्मान्य सदस्य, सदन चलते समय शुरुआत में कोई भी आके सेक्रेटरीट वालों से यहाँ हाउस में मिलना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि यहाँ भी प्रॉब्लम एयर कंडीशन है, एयर सर्कुलेशन आएगा, एयर कंडीशन है, हवा अंदर ही घूमते रहेगा, फिर उसके कारण से प्रॉब्लम होगा। इसलिए आवाज नहीं, हाँ समझ में आएगा। क्या है, यहाँ सदन चलते समय, हाँ इसके पूर्व 5 मिनट के पूर्व कोई भी सम्मानीय सदस्य आके सेक्रेटेरिएट वालों से यहाँ मिलना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि ये क्लोज है, तो इसलिए एयर सर्कुलेशन अंदर ही होता रहेगा। इसलिए आपके हित में और सम्मानीय सदस्यों के हित में कृपया, ये पुराना आदत है, चलते रहते था पहले, मगर कृपया यहाँ टेबल ऑफिस में मत आइए। कोई है तो स्लिप भेज दीजिए, बाकी जो पद्धति है उस पद्धति से उन लोगों से मिलना वगैरह देखिए। तो एनहांस द साउंड। Honorable members, you might be aware more than 1,000 persons have lost their lives and over 1.5 crore people have been adversely affected. Besides heavy damage to crops and property by heavy rains, floods and associated disasters such as lightning strikes and landslides in various parts of the country, particularly in the states of Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, earlier even Mumbai city also. During that period, a massive landslide due to heavy downpour in Idukki in the district of Kerala itself claimed lives of 65 people, inflicted injury to 12 others. Incessant rains, floods and other associated disasters have also caused extensive damage to houses, property, crops and infrastructure. The flora and fauna of these regions have also been severely affected. The loss of precious lives and injury to people indeed painful and unfortunate. The House joins me in expressing heartfelt condolences and sympathy to the bereaved families and pray for the speedy recovery and rehabilitation of the injured and affected. I request members to raise in their places and observe silence as a mark of respect to the memory of those who lost their lives in these natural calamities. Shanti, Shanti. Honorable members, we are meeting amidst challenging times that our nation has been going through along with other countries of the world due to COVID-19 pandemic. I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the monsoon session of the Parliament beginning today. We are meeting after a gap of 175 days since we met last when the House was adjourned sine die on March 23rd on the request of the honourable members for cutting short of the scheduled session so as to be with the people in the hour of crisis brought on us by an invisible microorganism named as coronavirus. I am very happy to see all of you today, though of course after a long period. मुझे यह देखकर भी राहत मिली है कि माननीय सदस्यगण इस महामारी के समय में भली प्रकार से है और स्वस्थ है. And I am also happy that majority of the members, most of the members by majority, they were all involved in helping the people in taking care of the people in their respective areas in their own ways. Through whatever methods that were possible, they were among the people in the hour of this crisis. I'm happy about that. The COVID-19 pandemic has been biggest disaster to strike the mankind since the Spanish flu about 100 years ago. The governments across the globe and medical and scientific community and civil society were caught unaware. The experts are still have to claim to have mastered all aspects of this virus, which is said to be the most virulent of the family of these coronaviruses. Despite being the second most populous country in the world, with high population density, we have been able to contain the damage to the pandemic to the minimum, both in terms of scale of infections and case fatalities ratio. I am happy to note that the nation rose as a Team India to handle this crisis. Central government, state government, and local body organizations, they all joined together in this hour of crisis. The role played by the frontline COVID warriors, including doctors, nurses, other medical staff, police, paramilitary forces, sanitary workers, media, essential service providers, etc. during this period has been exceptionally remarkable. These warriors have worked day in, day out with utmost dedication, courage and selflessness to ensure that the impact of the COVID-19 is minimal, for which they deserve our appreciation. My special compliments are due also to our farmers for their painstaking efforts in achieving record sowing of crops and production of food grains in higher quantities despite the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown restrictions. They stood firm against all the challenges when the pandemic severely affected livelihood and economy. The untiring efforts being made by our scientists in developing a vaccine for COVID-19 also needs to be acknowledged, and we hope that their efforts come to fruition in the near future. Honorable members, it has become quite evident by now that COVID-19 has defined a new normal, and we have to learn to live with the social distancing norms and other precautions for some more time. As the members of Parliament, it is our bounden duty to help the fight against COVID-19 in the best possible way. As you know, in normal course, the House would have met in the month of July, end or August for the monsoon session. However, due to travel and other restrictions put in place to check the spread of COVID-19, the House could not meet. I would like to inform you that I held several rounds of discussion with the Honorable Speaker of Lok Sabha and also with the government secretariats of both the houses, had several rounds of intense discussion, and then we tried to find out the best possible way for safe environment. That is how we are here today. The session is scheduled to have a total of 18 sittings. This has provided all of us with an opportunity to discharge our duties as legislators, that is, deliberating on important issues and arriving at meaningful solutions, and pass legislations to spur the nations on the path of progress. Our primary focus, therefore, in this brief session would be to ensure the meaningful discussions take place on important and urgent legislations and also issues concerning the nation, including the COVID-19 pandemic, are also discussed and debated. Keeping in view the paucity of functional time and volume of the work before us, I would request all the members to make the most of the available time at our disposal by deliberating meaningfully, legislating through consensus building, and successfully disposing of the business before the House on daily basis. To ensure that this session is held in compliance with the physical distancing norms, with all necessary precautions, various arrangements have been made by Secretariat in cooperation with agencies like ICMR. I have held exhaustive meetings with the Health Secretary, Home Secretary and others regarding the measures to be followed for creating a safe environment in conducting this session. Accordingly, arrangements have been made, including arrangements for the COVID testing for the members and the employees of the Secretariat of both the houses. The normal seating arrangement with fixed seat division number has been dispensed with in this session. The number of seats for each party in different places, that is Rajya Sabha chamber, Rajya Sabha galleries and Lok Sabha chamber, have been fixed as per their numerical strength for the allocation amongst their members by their respective parties. Members are requested to raise their hands and introduce themselves by announcing their names clearly before taking part in a discussion so that they can be easily identified. For the sake of the reaching out to the people through proper voice arrangement and all, we have permitted members to speak while sitting. This is not normally done, but this is an arrangement for this session. Members' rigorous efforts have been made through repeated testing and rehearsal to ensure that the technological and logistical arrangements made for this session work smoothly. As this is the first time in the history of our Parliament that such arrangements are in place, members are requested to bear with any teething problem if it arises. Honourable members, I would like to inform you on behalf of the department-related standing committees, on behalf of the Parliament, department-related standing committees have started functioning since July, despite adverse conditions due to pandemic. Soon after, the restrictions on air and train travel were eased to some extent and have taken up this examination of various aspects of pandemic and its impact during the intersession period. 7 such committees of Rajya Sabha have held 26 meetings since July this year and spent a total of 56 hours and 40 minutes deliberating on various aspects of the pandemic, its impact and management. These committees of Rajya Sabha have so far undertaken extensive examination of overall management of the situation, piloted chiefly by the Minister of Home Affairs in consultation with other stakeholders, preparedness to deal with COVID pandemic and other such outbreaks in future from the scientific research and medical perspectives, outbreak of pandemic and related contingent and mitigation plans, preparedness of education institutions during the pandemic, impact of the pandemic on tourism and civil aviation sectors, functioning of the virtual courts during the pandemic, and attracting investments in post-COVID economy. These are some of the subjects taken up by the committees. The time spent by these 7 committees of Rajya Sabha accounts for about 90% of the total time spent on deliberating various issues during the intersession period. This goes to suggest that the Parliament has already been seized of various issues relating to the COVID-19 pandemic and its management and impacts the way forward. I hope these reports to be submitted by this committee soon would enable the country for better preparedness for the future. The honourable members, I have completed 3 years in office as chairman of this August House last month, having assumed the office on 11th August 2017. I have directed the Secretariat to undertake a detailed research on various aspects of the functioning of this House since inception. Accordingly, detailed research and analysis was undertaken during the last 8 months. Broadly, the findings of this research are that since 1978, the period for which the required data is available with our Parliament, the productivity of the House has been steadily declining over the last 25 years. From 1978 till the middle of the 90s, the productivity of the House was over 100%. It fell to 89% and then further down to 78%. Since the general elections in 2014, the overall productivity of the 20 sessions have been 74%. This shows a declining curve of productivity of the House. However, there is a certain silver lining. The overall productivity of the last 3 sessions of the House has been 94.60%, the best for 3 consecutive sessions in the last 5 years. I sincerely hope that this new normal would stay. Regarding department-related standing committees, the attendance in the 8 committees of Rajya Sabha has crossed for the first time 50%, clocking 50.73% during 1920. It was 44.87% during 17-18. Honourable members, there is a substantial business agenda before the House for these 18 sittings. The government has proposed a list of a number of bills, including 11 ordinances, to be replaced by acts of Parliament. The opposition and other parties too have important issues to be taken up. I appeal to all of you to enable the proceedings of the House in a smooth manner so that all sections of the House get due share of the time of the House. I sincerely urge all of you to sustain and try to enhance the high productivity record by this August House during the last 3 sessions. If the House is in order, everyone gets to be heard and replied to. People of the country have a lot of expectation from all of you in respect of providing valuable guidance on management of the pandemic, revival of the economy, return of the normal social life. In short, they are keen to breathe normally and reclaim their social economic space. It is for you to decide how each one of you would like to respond to such expectations of the anguished people of the country. A few honorable members have sought leave of the absence from the entire 252nd session, citing guidelines for phased reopening. Unlike 4 wide of Ministry of Health, Ministry of Home Affairs, dated 29th August 2020. Guideline 7, under the caption Protection of Vulnerable Persons, reads, persons above 65 years of age and persons with comorbidities are advised to stay at home except for essential and health purposes. Attending Parliament is an essential responsibility. But if any particular member, because of health reasons, he desires to be absent, they have written to me. I am getting all of them positively approved because it's a human problem. माननीय सदस्यगण, मैं यही बताना चाहता हूँ, जो एडवाइजरी मैंने अभी पढ़ा होम मिनिस्ट्री का, हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री का, मैंने दोनों सेक्रेटरी से भी बात किया और उच्च स्तर पर उसके बारे में चर्चा किया. ये केवल एडवाइजरी है, इसके बाद भी लोग ट्रैवल कर रहे. मगर मेरा कहना ये है, ये एडवाइजरी को नॉर्मल समय में पालन करना उचित होगा. और पार्लियामेंट सेशन इज एन एसेंशियल responsibility of all of us, and also health also is paramount. Keep that in mind and then try to follow those guidelines. माननीय सदस्यगण, आज हिंदी दिवस है. आज ही के दिन 1949 में संविधान सभा ने हिंदी को राजभाषा के रूप में स्वीकार किया था. हिंदी को देश में बहुत सारे लोग समझते हैं और बोलते हैं. अन्य भारतीय भाषाओं को भी संविधान में सम्मानित स्थान दिया गया है. सभी भारतीय भाषाएं हमारे लिए आदरणीय है. हमारा प्रयास होना चाहिए हम हिंदी के साथ ही साथ अधिक से अधिक भारतीय भाषाओं को सीखें, उनका प्रयोग करें. I appeal to all the people, while encouraging Hindi, at the same time promote mother tongue in your respective areas. That is the need of the hour. And no language is superior and no language is inferior. That's why my suggestion will be, I told some of my friends who had apprehensions, I told them simple formula I have given. One, no imposition, no opposition. Two, that should be the position of any language. All are Indian languages. Let us try to. That is your this thing, na? The country has accepted it. Everybody has got a right to agree to disagree also. That is the beauty of Indian democracy. That is the beauty of Indian democracy. And at the end of the day, the democracy, you know how it runs. It goes by the will of the people and the majority of the members. In their collective wisdom, the constitutional framers, they have at the time have declared it, and we feel out of our personal experience also, large number of people देश में जो भाषा बोलते हैं उसमें सीखने में किसी को कोई आपत्ति नहीं होना चाहिए. मैं चाहता हूं, इस बीच में मैं थोड़ा पर्सनल लेवल पे आप लोगों को बताना चाहता हूं. मैं बहुत मित्रों से बातचीत कर रहा हूं, फेसबुक में भी दिख रहा हूं. मैं फैमिलीज को, बच्चों को एडवाइस कर रहा हूं, भाई आपके भाषा अलावा और एक भाषा सीखने के लिए प्रयास करो. हिंदी सीखो, तमिल सीखो, तेलुगु सीखो, मलयालम सीखो, मराठी सीखो, आसामी सीखो, पंजाबी, कुछ ना कुछ और एक भाषा सीखने के लिए अच्छा अवसर है. एंड आई एम हैप्पी दैट मेनी ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन आर ट्राइंग टू लर्न वन मोर लैंग्वेज. और विशेष रूप में जो उत्तर भारत में जो रह रहे लोग, उनसे मेरा प्रार्थना है, आप भी अपना बच्चों को बताइए एक दक्षिण भारतीय भाषा भी सीखे तो एक सुहृद भावपूर्ण वातावरण होगा देश में और हम सब मिलकर देश को आगे ले जा सकते हैं. मित्रों, honorable members, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. This adage cannot be more true in any other time than this present context. By taking all precautions necessary and measures, we shall be able to do our duty effectively and efficiently with forbearance, discipline, determination and alertness. We will be able to overcome this testing time as well. I am sure about it. I can assure you that I am always willing to do the needful to draw the best out of you. Let us make this session happening in troubled times a really memorable one. This is my appeal to all of you on the beginning of this session. And then we have you are all aware that the sitting of the House from tomorrow, 15th September 2020, 1st October 2020 will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Rules 185 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Rajya Sabha provides that the admitted call attention shall be raised at 2 p.m. and no other time during the sitting of the House of Council. In view of the change in time in sittings of the House, it is not possible to take up the call attention at 2 p.m. Accordingly, the call attention will be raised in the House at such a time as may be decided. Similarly, Rule 180C provides the time for submitting notices for special mentions shall be up to 5 p.m. on the day for raising the matter next day of sitting. Again, in view of the change in timing, it has been decided that the timing of submitting notice for special mention shall be up to 12 noon on a day, because we are meeting at of the sitting for the next day of the sitting. Further, as the time of sitting is restricted to 4 hours, the members whose notice of special mentions have been admitted should lay the approved text when called by the chair. And with regard to 0-hour submissions also, I have gone through the possibilities. Around 10 people will get an opportunity, and they should also confine themselves to submitting the 0-hour within that prescribed time of 3 minutes, because there is no system of monitoring. But the chair will be monitoring. Members are also requested to see that they follow time, and there is no need arises for the chair to intervene in between. Secretary General to, Honorable members, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I congratulate the Indian chess team led by Vidit Santosh Gujarati and comprising of Viswanath Anand, Pentala Hari Krishna, Aravind Chidambaram, Nihal Serene, Pragyanathan R, Koneru Hampi, Dronavalli Harika, Bhakti Kukarni, Vaishali R, Vatika Agarwal, and Divya Deshmukh for winning the first ever gold medal and being declared champions along with Russia at the FIDE Chess Olympiad 20, which was held online from 24th of July to 30th of August 2020. It is indeed a matter of great pride that our chess players, many of whom are teenagers, continue to further the rich legacy of Indian chess and make it to newer heights. Their example should inspire our young chess players and other young sports persons to emulate and improve upon their achievements. I wish all the chess players success in their future endeavors and hope they continue to bring many more laurels to the country.